What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the concepts of flash posting and then the alternative. And I haven't figured out what to call the alternative, but flash posting is when you post a bunch of listings for 30 days or 60 days and then you just get rid of them. And then you maybe redo that over and over again. So that's one thing that this may turn into. Depending on the profitability of the first month, obviously, right? Because if we're a little bit profitable, then I can tweak some things, make us more profitable. That's going to be great. But if we're seriously not profitable, well, then I need to figure something else out, right? And at this point, I know that I can make some strategy with bulk work. It's just a matter of making the appropriate tweaks, you know? I know that it's doable. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like, oh, you just get to blindly post items and you make money, guys. It's awesome. It's great. That's not how it works, okay? So we have this concept of flash posting, which I've just addressed, which is what I've done so far, where you just post a bunch of items and then you delete them. So I haven't done that part yet. The other concept is like, all right, we just posted 115,000 items. So that's a lot of insertion fees, right? So we're going to get sales for the first month, but I don't want to renew everything for the second month with this mentality, right? With this mentality, we eliminate 90% of the items and we only keep the top 10% of the items that are performing well. Okay, so this is items that produce sales, got a lot of views, got a lot of watchers, all that kind of stuff. So I'll have to figure out some kind of system for how to get rid of items that haven't produced, well, it's easy to get rid of items that haven't produced a sale, but we've had like 370 sales, so that's nowhere near 10,000 items. So we'll have to be a bit more picky than that. It would have to be like off of maybe watcher count or something. I'm not sure exactly how I would eliminate items on a large scale. Because I could easily eliminate the items without a sale. But at that point, we'd be deleting 200 at a time. So it would be doable. But I don't know how I would trim items. That's the thing I haven't figured out with that mentality. But theoretically, in the worst case scenario where we don't earn our insertion fee bill, and in that scenario, it's not like we're going to have to pay the whole insertion fee bill. The sales would cover most of it, just not all of it, right? So I would eliminate as many items as I could to lower down the next month's insertion fees and figure out, okay, if I bulk posted all of these items and then I just get rid of most of them for the second month, are we going to get lots of sales? Or are we just going to get like no sales at all? You know what I mean? There's still a lot to learn and a lot to try out. And that would honestly be a lot of work, like trimming out all of those items. Unless one of you guys can come up with a way and, you know, share it with me in the comment where I can delete items based on their performance. And even then, that's going to be hard because, like, okay, this list of items is sorted by watcher, right? So say that we deleted every item that didn't sell. Well, then we only have like 360 items, almost 400 items. But granted, that's a third of the way through the month. So that would mean we have like 1,000 items. But I'm going to be paying for an Anchor store anyway. So really, I want 10,000 items. So that would only get us a tenth of the items that we wanted. So let's see if we were able to filter it by watchers. What if we go to page 6? We want to see how many of these items have a watcher at least. Because if we can get close to 10,000, like even if it's like 7,000 or 8,000, that's pretty good. So what we need to do now is figure out where the end of this list is. So let's take page number 6 and change that to page number 20. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of pages that have just one watcher, which I'm fine with. All right, so now we've gotten to the part where there are no watchers. So maybe page 18. 20 times 200. See, even that's 4,000. But granted, this is only for a third of the time. So by the time we actually have to delete the items, there's going to be way more items with watchers, or at least roughly 3 times as many. Because while it's true that the whole store has been live for 11 days, or 10 days actually, most of the items, the vast majority of them, haven't been live for like 6 days, right? So let's keep going. We got to figure out where this watcher page ends. Let's try page 12. Because this is going to give us an estimate, a guesstimate, if we are able to filter the list by watcher. And I'm hoping I won't have to do this, but it's possible I'll also, because I'll do whatever will teach me the most. So I might not flash post again. I may elimination post. Maybe we should call it an elimination. So there's flat posting and elimination, right? Geez, only 10 pages of watchers. So that means 2,000. Still no watchers. Page 8, maybe? No, still? Jeez. Yeah, I'm not sure how I would go about eliminating these items. Fees delister will eliminate 200 at a time, but it hasn't been loading my eBay account for some reason. It's loading a state that my eBay account was in like a while ago. So I think I screwed something up and I got to reset the keys. But let me double check real quick. Yeah, it thinks I only have 3,800 listings. What are you doing? Maybe this is one of those programs that won't actually look at the listings. It won't import things unless you're using the program, because I haven't used it recently. So maybe it waits for you to see if you're actually logging in before it starts doing work on its stuff. It says it's doing work, but this should be the max for fees delister, which is like 25,000. Which comes into another problem. Fees delister works great for optimized stores, but when you have a bulk store operating at more than 25,000 listings, it's not that simple, unfortunately. So you get what I'm talking about with elimination. I've babbered on about this long enough. That's this concept of we post all of these items, and then we have some kind of filtering process, and then for the second month, we eliminate a lot of the items, right? I don't know. I haven't figured out the details of that or if it's something that I'm going to do. So now I'm going to talk to you more about flash posting, because then you can understand tomorrow's episode, which is going to be more about the negative filter. And I'm going to show additions that I've made to the negative filter that I am now going through, and I will search through my store and remove them. And then we're also going to remove them from the master list itself. Okay. So if you understand why I'm flash posting, or what I'm thinking about with this flash posting concept, then you'll understand why it is that I'm doing that. Obviously, first off, I want to eliminate problems, right? But second off, theoretically, we should, if we have this list of items, we should be able to repost it each month and make money. Because what I've observed in the past is that items, you can have the same list of items, the same feed of items posted in different stores, and different items actually sell. So it's not as simple as, you don't just have a list of items that are going to sell. You have a list, and that listing, by creating so many items, certain items are going to be in the right place at the right time, and they're going to sell. Okay? Even if they tried to sell last month, but they didn't. The concept here is that, okay, eBay looks at your item, and it looks at your item's performance. And if it performs well, then eBay pushes your item. So if you start getting sales, or you start getting attention, then you'll get more sales, right? But what if there is no sale in the first 30 days? What if nothing happens? Well, then when your good till canceled listing goes to renew, first off, you're not getting that benefit of being in the newly listed feed. And I think that benefit kind of explains why we get so many sales straight away, is because you really like, some of the stuff that I've done with bulk, it contradicts some of the things that I thought were true, right? Like I always thought that, okay, it takes like a couple weeks for your item to be indexed properly and produce a sale. I don't know how true that is, right? Because if that was true, then wouldn't we not get very many sales at all? And then they would go up? Like basically my understanding from this, I mean, I need more time to observe it, right? But from my previous bulk posting is that the sales you get after a couple days, they remain pretty consistent. Like this store is probably going to continue to do between $1,000 and $2,000 for the rest of the month. It's unlikely that there's going to be a sudden like growth or a sudden decrease, just because of the sheer quantity and size of the store. Like, whereas if it was completely true that your items take a couple weeks to be indexed, then wouldn't this growth happen like slowly over time? Like, I don't think it's that simple. I think that definitely the newly listed feed has something to do with it, because how are we able to just post items and then boom, they get sales? Like we started posting on the 16th, okay? And yeah, that's like no sales at all, but okay, so 20,000 items by the end of the 16th. $320 in sales, 40,000 items, 50 or 60,000, 80,000, 100,000, and then boom, right? So the idea with the flash posting, we have the list, we repost it each month, but as we encounter problems, we further trim the list down. And also, as we encounter out of stock listings, because if we go here and we go to my active listings, you'll see that I have roughly 10,000 of my items out of stock. That accounts for what, like 7%, 8% of all of my items. Like if we go here, we scroll down. Yeah, I have 9,799 items that are out of stock. So that means in my master list, there's roughly 10,000 items that are out of stock in that list. So I should eliminate those because I've paid insertion fees on those listings even though they're out of stock. And these are items that are out of stock before I post them, right? So I post out of stock listings. And this is just because Hydra you don't always want your lister to just reject a listing because it's out of stock. You want to be able to work with out of stock listings sometimes because there's situations where you know something's going to come back in stock, and if you're an optimizer, then you can target item. Yeah, it's complicated. But long story short, Hydra won't reject out of stock listings. Okay, SkuGrid will catch them and then mark them as out of stock, but ideally they're just not in my feed in the first place. So as part of as part of the flash posting concept, we're going to continue to work with our list of items. So if I open up Sublime Text, we're going to continue to delete items that are not performing out of this list of 140,000. Because remember, this is the original list that we posted that resulted in 115,000 unique listings, okay? But there's problems in this list. And we went through a lot of elimination. You know, the list started out as 230,000 items. So we eliminated 100,000 items straight off the bat, right? But now that I have some more experience with what kind of problems these items produced, I've been adding new keywords to the negative filter, right? So the original negative filter goes all the way down over here. But I realized I got tired of scrolling, so I just started adding it to the side here. And what I found is that there's certain keywords, like Dymatize, I got a bunch of Vero problems. Well, not Vero problems. I got a guy sending me messages on eBay threatening me and lawsuit stuff and that kind of thing. And with that kind of stuff, it's hard to tell because there is a lot of fear tactics that are used by lawyers and that kind of stuff. But really, the way that they're supposed to handle it is submit it to eBay, and then eBay will do the Vero thing, and then they'll take your listing down. They shouldn't necessarily be directly contacting you and threatening you, that kind of thing. And it could also be a competitor, right? Okay, for example, this listing, right? I got like multiple hits where somebody emailed me about selling Dymatize items, and I was like, hey, I have no problem not selling your items. I will happily take down any listings. Understand I have an automatic listing process, so it's possible more will get posted. I have added them to the blacklist, but if that happens, let me know. And then you can tell because they don't really respond like people. They just send you like templates. And let's just search for Dymatize. And this is why I have a feeling it was a competitor, not the actual company. So straight off the bat, we have 14,000 results, right, for Dymatize. And then the thing that really gives it away is let's look at these sellers, right? Let's look at all of these and see. Well, if this guy's right, then supposedly the only people selling items on selling Dymatize items on eBay should be Dymatize, right? Okay. No, 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 no. See, there's all these people selling these products and selling a lot of them. So it's possible that they've gotten like permission from them, right? Jesus, look at that. That's insane. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter a whole lot. So the whole thing is here, now I need to go through and remove all of the negative keywords that I've added from both this list and from my current active store, so I can prevent some of those problems, right? So any of the ones that create like immediate problems, like copyright stuff, trademark names, Dymatize, that kind of stuff, I already eliminated. But now in the next video, in tomorrow's video, I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you guys what it's like to eliminate these items out of my store and of the list. And we're going to talk to you a little bit more about this concept of flash posting. And don't worry, I am going to do a video where I break down after 10 days, this is the sales I got, yada yada, this is what it looks like, this is what our profit, well, what's left to pay off of our insertion fee bill. Because while it is true that I'm talking to you about alternatives if we aren't profitable, that's just because I'm trying to plan for everything. It really does look like we have enough sales to make this work. So we'll see, because I need to do this at different months throughout the year, because January is a relatively slow month. So I'm doing this in a relatively slow month. What happens if I do this in like a better month or an even slower month? You know what I mean? Like what? Ideally, the way I picture this in the future is that there's certain months of the year that I know are good to bulk post. And then there's other months of the year that I know are probably best to skip, right? Because what we're going to find is that there's going to be some months where it's busier and we earn more money, you know, thousands of dollars more. And then there's other months where using this flash posting strategy, we don't earn as much. Maybe we only earn $1,000 or a couple $100, or maybe we even lose money. I don't know yet, you know, but I need to plan for everything. And it does look like flash posting is going to be the way to go, not elimination, which is good because I don't really want to do elimination, but I would learn from doing it. So that's great, right? All right, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's video where we're going to be talking about the negative keywords that we've had so far, what produced them, why I forgot about them, whether I'd experienced them in the past, and then we're going to apply those keywords to our current store, remove items that could cause potential problems, and then also start removing more of those negative keywords from the master list itself. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye-bye.